The first tip that pros do that you don't is that they swing when a teammate or an enemy gets killed on the map. There's a notification on the right on the kill feed that says that your teammate has died, and they look away from their crosshair, and you can take advantage of that when that happens. An example could be when someone is lurking up mid, you as a defender, one of your teammates could die on C or on A, and you take that advantage to swing mid and then kill the guy that's lurking up mid looking for a fight. But once their teammate dies on the map, they're going to be looking to their map or at the kill feed trying to figure out who has died, and you're able to just swing out and have the advantage to actually eliminate them. I have used this in my rank games so much more, and it has helped me win so many more rounds and so many more games. And now I'm radiant. Now that is just 1 out of the 10 tips that pros do that you don't. The second tip that pros do that you don't is silent jumping upstairs or slopes. When you jump normally, it makes a sound like this, and the whole enemy team can hear that. So instead, hold shift the whole entire way you're bunny hopping up the slope while you run. And you are completely silent while having the same exact speed. You can do this on any point of the map as well, like any elevated position like stairs or any type of slope going up. You can do this on anywhere, just as long as you get the speed, and you can actually bunny hop anywhere you go, just as long as you're holding shift going up the elevation. But if you see that the enemy is abusing that and silent jumping everywhere so they can get into a better position to actually kill you, use this tip instead on the defensive side. You probably heard this in people's streams and probably in pro play as well, where someone calls, hey, can we hold this angle up down? And what that basically means is that one of you guys are holding from an elevated position on top and the other person is holding from a lower position, but the exact same angle. This type of up down hold is best used in major choke points like B main of split, because if you have a teammate holding below you like this and then you're above like this holding the same angle, that can help you win so many 2v1s or 2v2s, just because when the enemy is looking from the B main position, they either shoot the bottom guy or the top guy. They can't do both unless you're actually like 10s or something, but you're not 10s. And that's a fact, which leads me into the next tip, where you should just start using your mic more. One of the main reasons pros are so talented and so good is that they coordinate everything together with their mics. One of the main things that I notice in low ranks, or honestly even in any rank, is that you guys just don't use your mics. And like, in my opinion, that makes you a weirdo. Like, the difference in between just losing a round or winning a round could be as little as you playing Killjoy and having your turret pop off on B main and not calming it out. And then they're able to walk up, and your teammate, without that information being told, they could be snuck up on and killed, and then the round is over. Another example could be that if you're executing onto a site, and this can be on any map, if you're properly telling, hey, can we flash now? Or you say 1, 2, 3 or something to coordinate the team together using your mic, that will help you win so many more gunfights, especially with your team, and executing onto site a lot more properly. Which leads me to explaining why every pro has a selected role in their team. And for you in ranked, you should actually learn a couple roles yourself to actually master. Every pro has to learn the specifics of the role that they play to actually effectively use their util and properly play the game altogether. But for you as a ranked player, you just pick a favorite agent of yours and try to specifically learn their kit and learn all of their util to completely master it and use it in your rank games. A lot of the things that I see in low rank, or just in any rank in general, is that people just pick an agent that they don't really know and just play it just to play. They don't really use the util for their team, they use it for themselves, and that's okay. But if you want to really improve, I suggest that you should master the util and actually learn the single things to master this agent. One thing I like to do, and a thing that I see pros do a lot as well, is throwing an info flash towards A main, just because what this does is clear out A main early for any lurkers or any potential rushes. Properly learning util like that will definitely help you and be in a crucial role to your team in ranked or any competitive scene that you are playing in. But that leads me into the next tip on how different agents can be good or bad on different maps. Like, you're not going to be seeing a solo controller harbor on Sunset, because how are you supposed to be able to one-way a lobby for your team with a wall like this, or even having like a lineup with the Cove? which is not going to really work. But seeing a Harbor on Breeze, for example, is actually pretty good because Harbor solo on Breeze or Viper solo on Breeze is actually good for your team since it covers what you need to cover. But seeing a Brimstone on Breeze is actually kind of bad just because he can't really reach the majority of the map with such a limited radius. And that makes Brim on Breeze, for example, really bad. Which is why I even see people even tilt because someone picked Brim on a map that they shouldn't be playing Brim on. Which leads me into the next tip where pros never really tilt unless you're Steel.
None of my teammates are A!
As a player trying to improve, always go into every rank game with a positive and confident mindset. That'll help you win more gunfights overall and help you win more rounds. Walking down mid or making a play that is really risky and getting 3 or 4 kills or even an ace, that would be insanely tilting for the other team because they just lost to either a thrifty where you're on deagle and you get an ace, or you just like go crazy and you get that momentum so you can actually win the next few rounds. Remember that the game can always turn around, so even if you lost pistol round, don't go tilting and start commenting at your teammates saying they suck or this or that, because anything can happen and you can always make a comeback. Remember that you're playing to improve, not to tilt. Just because you go on a losing streak and you're not winning games doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. You can always come back and get a win streak the next day. You probably heard the saying, swing or be swung. But in this game, it's actually completely the opposite. In this game, you have to stop to actually have perfect accuracy. When someone is swinging you, they don't have that perfect accuracy, so they have to counter strafe to actually have that first shot accuracy on you, which takes a little bit more time if you were just completely standing still, which means that you are in the advantage. So if you're holding an angle like bottom mid, you want to be holding the angle and have the enemy swing you instead, because if you're the one swinging, you're the one that has to counter strafe, but then they have the advantage because they're standing still. So in every gunfight, try to always be the one standing still. All of this is true as long as you don't whiff, right? And all of us whiff, even the pros of the pros, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know what that means because I meant to say top of the pros, not pros of the pros. Unless they're attacking and they have to entry or go into a site, you can send a blind out and swing and then do your counter strafing. Those are the times when you actually have to swing. But any other time, if you have the advantage to just hold an angle or jiggle or something, holding this angle and having them swing you is always the better option. You are probably not warming up, and there's a reason why pros always have a routine or a warm-up before they play their games. Try to find a routine that can help you fix something that you are working on. Like for example, your movement. Doing this warm-up in the range will help you practice and memorize the counter strafing that you need to do for your movement. All you have to do is just go right and left on the pole and then shoot anytime you go past the pole. And you can go as slow as you want or you can go fast. You know, another example that you can do that can help you figure out a routine is working on something like jet knives. You can do this in the range and just shoot the bots. This will help you work out your knives. I know I'm not a pro, but one thing I like to do is come to this part of the range right here and shoot these targets in the air. This helps with a lot of flicking and micro flicking as well. Start warming up, brothers. That was freaking weird. I don't know why I did that, but the final tip that pros do that you don't is change their playstyle based on the weapon they have. So what I see most pros doing is that specifically on Ascent, when they're coming out B main and they have it smoked, they usually spam with Phantom and play in a specific angle where they can spam. Because with the Phantom, you don't see any bullet tracers through smoke, so they can't spam you back. And also with the Phantom, most pros don't really take long distance fights just because there is a damage drop off with the Phantom, because you will be hitting 140 from a certain distance and then 124 from a longer distance. The Vandal is good for taking aggressive first blood fights on any map. The Vandal will always hit first just because it is a one tap to the head. So whenever I see a good pro like a duelist like Zekin, Aspas, Tens even, they always buy the Vandal just because when they do take those early aggression fights, they always have that better chance of winning that 50-50 fight all the time. And with that being said, that is all the 10 tips that pros know that you don't. And if you guys want to hear any more tips, I am live every day on Twitch and you can come into my chat and ask any question you have and I'll help answer you with that. Thank you guys for watching, and as I always say, always drink water and always stay epic. I'll see you guys in the next video.